Maximilian landed in Chicago this morning.
Cyrus's voice crackled through the speaker of the phone on Aiden's desk. Aiden's ears perked up as soon as he heard Maximilian's name. Maximilian is back? This is the day I've been waiting for so long.
I'm heading to the airport to meet him now,
Cyrus continued.
The rest of the Tiger Group captains will be joining us soon. I sent Lara there to pick you up. You can ride with her.
Aiden looked up at Lara and nodded. Thanks, Cyrus. Does he know I'm back yet?
He's heard the rumors, but he doesn't know anything about you besides that,
Cyrus replied. The corners of Aiden's mouth curled into a smile. Good. Make sure he doesn't find out anything until I give the word.
Understood, Tiger. It's your decision. I'll see you there.
The line went dead as Cyrus hung up the call. Aiden set down the phone and ran his fingers through his hair. I can't let Maximilian know who I am. Not yet, he thought. 18 years ago, Raymond killed my father and took everything away from me. That's the only reason Maximilian is running things right now. I can't trust him any more than my father could trust Raymond. If he's up to something, I don't want to give him a chance to cover it up. Best to keep my identity a secret for now. What's wrong? Asked Lara, noticing Aiden's furrowed brows and the scowl on his face. Aiden shrugged. Nothing. You seem pretty angry, Lara insisted. Does it have something to do with Maximilian? As soon as Cyrus mentioned his name, you started brooding. Even when we were kids, Naomi could always read me clearly, even when I wasn't saying anything. Aiden remembered. There's no use lying to her, but I'm not ready to tell her about Maximilian either. I will tell you everything, when the time is right, Aiden stated firmly. Let's go. Lara remained frozen in place for a moment. Aiden knew she wasn't the type to give up easily, so he got up from his desk and headed toward the door, making it clear that he didn't want to talk about it. She nodded and followed him out without saying another word. After getting into Lara's car, they drove for almost an hour through the gritty outskirts of Chicago. They got off the highway near the airport, finally arriving in front of an unmarked airplane hangar. What is this place? Asked Aiden. Lara pointed to the building. This is the hangar where your private jet is stored. We also use it for Tiger Group meetings, occasionally. Aiden's mouth fell open. I have a private jet? Why didn't anyone tell me? Lara tossed her hair back and laughed. Of course you do. You also have a yacht, a helicopter, some private islands, and many other valuable possessions. You're one of the richest men in the world, after all. And now that Maximilian is back, we can transfer all of your assets back to you. That is, as soon as you're ready to tell him you're the tiger. Aiden chuckled. All in good time, Lara. All in good time. When they reached the main gate, the guards at the security booth waved them through. Looks like everyone else is already here, Lara said, nodding toward the cluster of black luxury cars and SUVs in front of the building. After they parked, Lara began to step out of the car, but Aiden stopped her. Remember, don't say anything to Maximilian until I give the word. I told you 100 times already, I won't, Lara huffed. But you have to tell him eventually if you want to lead the Tiger Group. If not today, then tomorrow. Aiden nodded. Then both of them got out of the car and walked toward the building. When they reached the entrance, Lara swiped a keycard and the door clicked open. As soon as they walked in, Aiden saw a tall, well-dressed man standing in the middle of the hangar, next to a parked private jet. The man looked down at his watch as he noticed them walking toward him. A look of annoyance flashed across his face, but he quickly plastered it over with a fake smile. Lara, I'm so glad you finally decided to join us. You're late. This must be Maximilian, Aiden thought, studying the man carefully. His face is exactly like his father's, minus the scar, but he has the same cunning in his eyes. Suddenly, it dawned on Aiden that Maximilian was staring at him too. Without warning, Maximilian pulled a gun from inside his coat and pointed it at Aiden's forehead. "Who is this? And why did you bring him with you?" he asked Lara. Aiden could feel the cold steel barrel pressing against his skin. "Maximilian, what are you doing?" Lara shouted. "Do you really think I would bring someone here if I didn't know they were trustworthy?" "This is my business partner, Aiden Callahan. I can vouch for him." Aiden remained completely calm. Maximilian, on the other hand, was starting to sweat. "Why are you bringing an outsider to such an important meeting? You know we have a spy among our ranks. We can't trust anyone these days, let alone a complete stranger." "He seems nervous and trigger-happy. Not a great combo," Aiden thought. "Maybe I should just tell him who I am and get this over with." "There's no need to worry, Max. You can put away your weapon," Aiden assured him. "My real name is Aiden Gibson, not Aiden Callahan. My father was Samuel Gibson. I am the Tiger." On hearing Aiden's introduction, Maximilian froze for a moment. Then he burst out laughing. "Wow, you almost had me there for a second. Where'd you meet this guy, Lara? Acting class?" Maximilian's smile suddenly disappeared. "No one called me Max without my permission." He prodded Aiden's forehead with the gun. "But Maximilian, this really is the Tiger. Please, put down the gun before you do something you regret," Lara pleaded. Maximilian scoffed. "Do you really think that I'm just going to hand over control of the Tiger Group to the first guy that walks in here and says, 'I'm the Tiger'? If you really are who you say you are, tell me, where have you been all these years? I'm going to need some proof." "I could just show him my ring," Aiden thought. "But his attitude is starting to annoy me, not to mention the gun pointed at my head. It might be time to teach this guy who's in charge." "You want proof?" Aiden smirked. "I'll give you proof." In the blink of an eye, Aiden sidestepped and disarmed Maximilian by bending his wrist back and snatching the gun from his hand. Then he swept out Maximilian's legs, knocking him to the floor. Now, Aiden was the one in control, standing over Maximilian, holding him at gunpoint. "Is that enough proof for you, or do you need more?" Aiden snarled, keeping a firm grip on the trigger. "You really are the Tiger, aren't you?" Maximilian looked up at Aiden, his eyes wide with fear. "There aren't many men who could take me down that easily." "I thought you weren't going to tell him," Lara said with a wink as she stepped in next to Aiden. "It's amazing how quickly plans can change with a gun to your head," Aiden chuckled as they looked down at Maximilian trembling on the floor. "Please, forgive me, Tiger," Maximilian begged, holding his hand up in surrender. "I heard rumors that you were back, but I didn't believe it. There's a spy in our organization. That's why I was being so careful. I've worked hard to keep the Tiger Group running smoothly in your absence. The last thing I would want to do is offend you." "Don't worry, I don't take it personally," Aiden replied, keeping the gun trained on Maximilian. "But I'm not letting you off the hook yet. There are a few questions I've been dying to ask you for a very, very long time." "Fire away," Maximilian said, immediately regretting his word choice. "I mean, not literally. Don't shoot me. But ask me anything, and I'll tell you what I know." A series of images flashed through Aiden's mind. His father's last request, the scar on Raymond's face. He had waited so long for this moment. Now, he just needed to find the words. "Did your father ever tell you where I was all these years?" A puzzled expression clouded Maximilian's eyes. He shook his head. "My father? Why would he know anything about that?" "Because your father killed my father," Aiden shouted, his accusation echoing off the high ceilings of the airport hangar. Maximilian's eyes bulged open wide with surprise. "Now it's time to tell me everything that you know," Aiden growled, staring at Maximilian down the barrel of his gun. What does Maximilian know about Samuel's death? Will he hand Aiden the keys to the Tiger Group without a fight? What will Aiden do now that he's back in charge? "What are you talking about? My father would never kill your father." Maximilian looked up at Aiden from the floor of the airport hangar, his eyes wide open in shock. I can't tell if he's surprised because he doesn't know anything, or if he's surprised that I figured it out, Aiden thought. He kept the gun pointed at Maximilian and continued his interrogation while Lara stood by watching nervously, her brows knitted in concern. Not only did Raymond kill my father, but he also tried to kill me. And he did it so he could hand the Tiger Group over to you, Aiden growled. Maximilian shook his head. But that's impossible. My father was friends with Samuel. He wouldn't do anything like that, I swear. Aiden scoffed. Haven't you ever wondered how the Tiger Group ended up in your hands? Have you ever wondered why I grew up in an orphanage, while you've been enjoying all the money, power, and possessions that rightfully belong to me? Maximilian's eyes flashed with anger. My father and I did everything we could to carry on the legacy that your father started, hoping that one day the tiger would return. Aiden smirked. Well, I'm back, ready to take back what's mine. And I promised my father that I would get revenge on the man who killed him. If Raymond's already dead, well then I guess that leaves you. Maximilian started to get up from the floor. I won't sit here and listen to you badmouth my dead father. If you're going to kill me, get it over with. Or we can do this the easy way. I can walk out of here and you'll never have to see me again. Aiden planted his foot on Maximilian's chest and knocked him back to the ground. If you try to walk away, I'll have no choice but to assume that you're guilty. Besides, you can't walk away from the Tiger Group now. You know too much. Suddenly, Aiden heard a man's deep voice behind him. What the hell is going on here? He turned to see Ben Jameson walking toward them, with a grin on his face. Don't tell me you two already started the meeting out here. The captains are all waiting for you in the back room. Not at all, Ben. We were just on our way to the meeting. Right, Max? Aiden ordered Maximilian to his feet, with a wave of the gun. Maximilian hesitated. Just for the record, I don't usually take orders, or allow anyone to call me Max. That is, unless you're the tiger. He stood up from the floor and brushed himself off. Let's go. Lara let out a sigh of relief as Aiden put away the gun, and they all followed Ben into the meeting room. The room in the back of the airport hangar was surprisingly luxurious. Aiden looked around, reminded once again just how rich he was. Chandeliers hung from the ceiling, paintings lined the walls, exquisite furniture adorned the room, and the floor was covered with an expensive carpet. As soon as Aiden walked in, all of the captains sitting around the long conference table stood up. Aiden nodded. Thank you all for coming. Please, sit. Aiden remained standing until everyone else was seated. Then, he walked to an empty, throne-like chair at the head of the table and sat down. Well, I think by now you all know who I am. Cyrus nodded. We were waiting for your signal to announce it. He turned to the others. It's official. The tiger is back, everyone. The room suddenly flooded with applause as the captain celebrated his return. Welcome back, Tiger, shouted a captain who introduced himself as Parker. Now that you're back, the Tiger Group will get the respect it deserves. He pulled out a bottle of wine and started passing out wine glasses. I've been saving this vintage wine for a special occasion. I think Tiger's return deserves a celebration. Aiden cleared his throat. It's come to my knowledge that the Tiger Group's position is a bit shaky at the moment. So why don't we save the celebration for after we get our business affairs in order? Yes, Tiger, Parker replied, quickly putting away the bottle. Everyone quieted down again, all eyes on Aiden. I'm very grateful to you all for keeping things running in my absence. Now that I'm back, I will be taking the reins back from Maximilian. Aiden's words were met with murmurs of approval. We're all behind you, assured Lawrence. With your leadership, we will leave our competition in the dust, added Ben. Aiden held up his hand. However, now is not the time to announce my identity to the world. As you all know, There's still a spy in our ranks. So I will continue operating undercover until we find the rat and plug the leak. Ben slammed his fist on the table. No one says a word about this until Tiger gives his say-so. Understood? Everyone nodded in agreement. Good. Then that leaves just one order of business for today. Aiden smiled and turned to Maximilian. Max, since you've been running things in my absence, I'll need your help getting me up to speed. Maximilian bowed his head slightly and slid a briefcase across the table. Yes, Tiger, I will tell you everything I know. Inside this briefcase, you will find the deeds, titles, and access codes to all of the properties and accounts left to you by your father. Why is Maximilian cooperating so easily now? Aiden wondered. He cautiously picked up the briefcase and unzipped it. As Aiden flipped through the documents, he couldn't help but chuckle to himself, thinking about all the years he struggled, working delivery jobs with lousy pay. Is this everything? Maximilian nodded. Everything I know about, at least, yes. Aiden set down the briefcase and looked back up at Maximilian. Max, I want you to stick around and walk me through these documents. The rest of you are free to go. Thank you all for coming. As he said this, the captain stood up and slowly began filing out of the room. How long is your meeting with Maximilian going to take, Tiger? Lara asked, pulling Aiden aside. I need to get back soon for an appointment. I can give him a ride, offered Maximilian, who was standing close enough to them to overhear. Lara scoffed. I seriously doubt that the Tiger wants a ride from the man who was pointing a gun at his head a few moments ago. Maximilian hung his head in shame. Listen, Tiger. I'll understand if you're angry with me. If I were in your place, I'd be furious. But now that I know for sure that you really are the Tiger, I will stand behind you in every way. And I promise to help clear up any questions you have about the Tiger Group and my father. I swear to you, I'm your friend, not your enemy. Aiden was quiet for a moment, thinking about how to reply to Maximilian's offer. Okay, you can go, Lara. I'll ride with Max. Lara's mouth fell open. Seriously? You're okay with being alone with this guy? Aiden chuckled and patted the gun in his pocket. I'll take my chances. Can I get you something to drink? As Aiden rode back to Chicago in Maximilian's car, Maximilian fixed himself a vodka rocks from the vehicle's built-in mini-fridge. I'm good. Aiden glanced briefly at Maximilian, then resumed staring out the window. So, what's up with you and Lara? You two seem pretty close, Maximilian said with a smirk as he sat back in his seat and took a big sip of vodka. Aiden turned around and glared at Maximilian. Let's save the small talk for another time, shall we? I still have some questions about the Tiger Group. Maximilian nodded and took another swig of vodka. Sure, ask away. Who are your contacts in all the businesses run by the Tiger Group? I'll need a list from you, so I can take over the day-to-day communications. Oh, don't worry about that. Maximilian sipped his drink nonchalantly. I don't have to deal directly with the companies. I have someone else handle that. I just review the reports from time to time. No wonder the Tiger Group is in poor condition, Aiden thought. This guy is not a serious businessman. How can I get in touch with this person who you've handed off all of your responsibilities to? Aiden's patience was wearing thin. I can put you in touch with her right now, Maximilian offered, completely oblivious to the disapproval in Aiden's voice. Wait. Aiden grabbed Maximilian's arm. Don't forget you have to keep my identity a secret. We still don't know who the rat is. Maximilian smiled. Don't worry. As long as I'm around, no one will find out. Maximilian finished dialing, and a moment later, a woman's voice came over the speaker. Hello, Shaw Industries. Rachel speaking. How can I direct your call? Rachel, hi. It's Maximilian. There's someone I want to introduce you to. Say hello to the Tiger. Aiden's eyes widened in horror as Maximilian handed him the phone. Will Rachel discover that Aiden is the tiger? What will she tell Dominic?
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.